Hi faithful friends, thanks so much for stopping by. In today's video, I have an amazing thrift haul, actually a yard sale haul. And I am so excited to share these items with you. I got one thing that I am just so over the moon excited about. I am gonna save it until last, of course. Save the best for last, but you gotta watch the video and come along with me and let me know what you think about these finds. Okay, so yesterday on, Independence Day, the next town over in Hagerstown, Maryland, they have this, what they call the mile-long yard sale. But basically, the whole little area of Mogginsville, that whole area, they have a big yard sale every year on Independence Day. And so I don't always go to that particular yard sales or those yard sales because it's usually extremely hot. But yesterday it was beautiful weather. It was perfect weather actually to be out yard sailing. And so we decided to go. And I got some great things on the way there, or while there. So let me go ahead and share those with you, and I'll also put in some clips on the items that I'm using right away, the things that I know where I want to place and decorate. I'll show those with you as we go along. The first stop, I was able to get this wooden crate. It needs the nails put back in, like I need to reattach that and sturdy it up a little bit. But this would be so cute to decorate either on the porch or here in the house. I thought, we could put books in it this way, or plates, platters, pictures, you name it. This will come in handy decorating like that. It has a little hole here. I could hang it on the wall, but again, it needs to be a little more sturdy before I put anything heavy in it. But I definitely got that. The next little yard sale we stopped at, I was able to get this lampshade. Now, the lampshade isn't the best. It's a little bit, you can see, it's a little bit, it's seen better days, but it's not bad on the outside. And I wasn't sure, I'm thinking the colors might work, but I need this size. So even if I, do something different, put a different fabric on or paint it or whatever, I'm trying to find the right size for those vintage glass lamps that I have, and I'm thinking this might work. Here's keeping my fingers crossed that will work. And at the same yard sale, I picked up this cute little grapevine wreath. So both of those were for $1. But this will be cute to hang. I actually thought it would look cute kind of hanging on this little crate. I thought that looked cute too. So we'll see what I do with it. I'll figure something out. I usually always do. Sometimes I just have it stored away until I think of something, but I almost always find something to do with these things. The next little yard sale, I got this rusty, crusty lunchbox. It has a tag on it, and it had this candle sticking in it. Now I don't like this candle, so I would either have to give it a makeover, cover it with wax and paint and make it look grubby, or just not use it and get one of the ones that I already have. But it also is filled with this berry garland. Now I don't know if I'll keep it that way or if I'll close it and decorate it. But again, I can put this on the porch. I can put it on a cute little display somewhere, but it's rusty and crusty. I thought even this would look cute, even, well, I do have those old thermoses, so I could put in one of my old thermoses in here and some faux food or something that would look cute. Or I could put some plants in it, or even actually plant some like succulents in it or something. There's lots that you can do with these. So I picked this up just because I think sometimes my ideas just start flowing. I get really creative when I see things like this, and I end up buying things that I probably normally wouldn't. But there is lots of ideas that can be had for that. Okay, then I came across these. Let me just show them all to you all at once. I have my table full here. Berry garlands. They had this one in a wreath shape, but this will be pretty for fall. The fall colored berries, the oranges and the reds and the greens. You can see that was $1. Berry garland. And then these two smaller berry garlands. Well, this is a candle ring actually. That one's a garland, this is a candle ring. But you can see it has the little pumpkins on it. Again, great for fall. Whether you tuck them in baskets, hang them on off of crates or over, you know, old windows, or just a traditional actual candle in the middle of it on a pretty plate or platter or something. You know, those, I always, especially if they're priced right, I pick those up. Now this one aren't typical colors that I get. It has the blues and a little bit of the, like a mauve berry color with the creams. But my bathroom, especially for summer, my bedroom actually as well, you know, has some of these softer blue colors and cream colors. So I'm going to put that in there now and use it for the summer months. Get a little bit of use out of that as well. I think, well, it was a little bit more. It was $2 for this one. The other one was $1. Plus I got the berry garland that was in that lunchbox, so that's really good. Okay, so the oil lamp, of course, I'm going to decorate with it. But I also want it for actually one that I can use. So I will get some, you know, lantern oil to put in here, just in case the power goes out. Like sometimes in the winter, you just don't want to be without light, or in the evenings, you know, when it gets dark. Just you know, a backup. I feel like I don't know, I've had it on my heart to just kind of get one or get a couple of them. That's the first one I've gotten. You know, just for backup, if the power's out, the lights are out. I mean, I do have candles and I do have battery operated candles, so I can use those things as well. But I just also wanted, I don't know, I guess the extra peace of mind of having something, an oil lantern as well, to, you know, give us some light. And I suppose it would throw off a tiny little bit of heat as well. Okay, this is very vintage, Art Deco, I believe. Paid 25 cents for this. It's a magnifying reading glass. So you just kind of hold it and read off the book. The thing is heavy. It's the plastic, acrylic, I suppose. But, you know, I have over on my library desk over there where I have the typewriter. I thought this would go cute. I have a couple other magnifying glasses over there, so I'm going to put this over there with it. I thought that would be just so cute, especially for 25 cents a quarter. That's a really good deal to add little unique little touches, just little, it's the details, right? It's all about the details. I'm a detail person, so of course I love those types of things. Okay, the next little yard sale, I got this, it's a harp. Let me just take it out of the bag here. For like the lampshade, because I'm thinking if I need this for something, you know, I have these vintage lamps and sometimes I might need this. So I thought, you know what, I see it here, it's inexpensive, and I'm gonna go ahead and get it and then I'll have it. And at the same little yard sale, there was this, I suppose they used it for a candle holder, very primitive. I didn't necessarily, you know, want it for the hook, but for this, you know, spool, wooden spool. It was 50 cents for both. But I definitely wanted this because this I like to tuck in, you know, in my little baskets, in my Crocs, here and there. It just comes in handy. Just add a little, like I said, a little more detail, a little texture. So many things. I got this little peg rack because in my closet I have jewelry that I like to hang, and I ran out of space, and my jewelry, my necklaces are starting to kind of get tangled and hard to get at. So I bought this for utilitarian purposes. It was $1. It is fairly, not old, but it's, you know, a vintage piece. But to hang, you know, belts or necklaces from. So, you know, a little bit of practical here. Okay, so at this yard sale, I got, my husband actually picked this out, this crock. $5 crock. Again, another $5 crock. Now it's, no, there's no cracks that I can tell. I don't see any markings. I think there's a, I don't know if that's a marking or just the way it was made, but anyway, I don't have any crocks that are black, have the black ring. So that's kind of fun that I have one now with black. It's pretty. And this Santa was at the same one. He's not old. He's like that cardboard thick paper mache type Santa. And it looks like he's missing whatever he was holding, but I can put a basket, I could put some berries, whatever. I have several of these, well, similar, you know, shape type, bell-snickle type Santas, and I bring them out at Christmas, so I'll put him with that collection. Okay, now this was really fun. We went to a yard sale. It was actually one of the last ones we went to yesterday, and they had these old tarps and rugs out, so they were just had everything, not everything in the yard sale for free, but the lady was moving her things out to the edge of the road, and it was free, so it was like tons of stuff. So I got like all of this stuff for free. Actually, my husband gave her $1 because he's like, he felt bad for taking all these things. But let me just show you what was, you know, in that bin, or, you know, that we got from that yard sale for free. But there's this, I believe it would be like an Art Deco, this old mirror. But look at all the rusty, crusty, you know, all the old chippiness of the mirror itself. So, and it has the, isn't that pretty? That's pretty. I thought that would be fun. Even, like I said, stick in a crock, in a basket, lay it on the, you know, mirror, not mirror, lay it on my dresser, you know, stuff like that. That would be pretty. Of course, this is another practical item. These corn on the cob holders. I'll wash them up. But they come in handy. I have 3 sets, and we have at least 4 people now that Danielle's married. So someone has to either share or, you know, not use corn holders, use a fork or whatever. So this was a needed item, and again, it was basically free. So then they had this bin full of silverware, and so I got a bunch of old spoons. Just kind of show you those quickly here. I don't know, my husband said this was supposed to be shaped like that. I don't know if it is or not. Do you know if that's supposed to be shaped like that? If you could let me know. That'd be nice, let me know what that is. This can opener and crimper. These teeny tiny little spoon. 2 little teeny tiny little spoons. Put those down. Cute, cute, cute. Found a little sugar spoon. Now that I know that's what they are, Dolores, thank you. A little sugar spoon to go with my little collection. Cocktail fork. Another silver spoon. I actually think they might actually be silver. It's kind of heavy. I can't tell, but it's pretty. The coloring, the tarnish on it is pretty. And a normal size spoon. A bigger, you know, serving spoon. And last but not least, this serving fork. Isn't that pretty? So that was all that silverware in there. This colander was in there, this old tin colander. Again, that would be cute to put a plant in. you know, some greenery at Christmas. That'll be fun to decorate with. And then there was this crock. Pretty brown inside. It's really chipped up, but it was free, so basically free. It has a crack on it. But the pattern is really pretty on it. So I'll probably use this to put my plants in that I have out back. But that would be pretty to decorate with, you know, bowl fillers or anything in that as well. And I don't know which yard sale this was, but I found this old book. And it's from the World War II era. And it's the Strength for Service to God and Country, but it's Salvation Army book. And so they gave this to the men and women who were in the military. And so it's a daily devotional, and it has like the different days on it. Like this is April 26th. It's so old and so fragile. But this was so cool. I like immediately got it. You can see I gave $4 for it. At first I loved the colors, but then as I got to looking at it and reading it, and then I did Google Lens it to find out a little bit more about it. But it's just perfect for me. I just am thrilled to get this, to find this little piece. So, and my husband and I were just kind of talking about it. It's like, you know, to think that this could have been, you know, in so many places. So, you know, think about World War II and the men carrying this in their bag or in their pockets, reading this, being far away from home, from family and friends. You know, maybe its owner didn't return. Maybe it did, you know, return back to their family. I'm not sure what the story is. I wish it would have had like maybe someone's name in it, but it doesn't. But to think about, you know, the story that this book could potentially tell, being given to a serviceman who were in, again, World War II, it said, is pretty special. It went out of print, and then it said that a Boy Scout picked up and kind of wrote these books and re-established them again as an Eagle Scout project. So they became, you know, back in print again, you know, a little bit later, but this one was specifically, you know, the Salvation Army for the war. So very special. But the item that I am the most thrilled about, because I've been looking at these for a little while, and my husband spotted it as we were kind of driving into a parking lot to this one particular yard sale. He saw it, and at first I'm like, he immediately left me out. I'm like, oh, let me out. I was going straight for this item. And then I thought, oh, it's probably just fake plastic, whatever. And as I got closer, I could see that it was definitely a real deal. But it's this. Look at this. It's not perfect. It's got some scuffs and some, you know, like some paint on it. But look at that. I have been wanting one of these little coolers for a while. I've watched them. People have had them on Facebook Marketplace, but they're either too far away for me to really want to drive, or they're pretty pricey they're asking for. But look what I paid. $6. Can you believe that? Like, the only reason, because we got there, was getting close to lunchtime. And the only reason I think it was still there is because it was kind of underneath one of the folding tables, and they had stuff in front of it, you know, and of course everything all over the top of the table. Is I think it kind of got lost, you know, amongst all the things. Because I picked it up, I immediately went right to it. As I got closer, I could tell it was metal. Because at first I thought, oh man, it's a cheap plastic fake one, like a blow up one or something, I don't know. But then I got closer and I like snagged it. I didn't even look at it. I didn't want to draw any attention. I was afraid somebody was going to take it from me. And then another woman, she's like, oh, if I'd have seen that, I would have gotten that. She goes, I already have one, but I would have gotten another one. I'm like, I bet you would have. Like, anyway, I'm glad I got there before she did, especially if she already had one. But for $6, I am just so thrilled. She did say that she used hers. She keeps her cat litter, or not cat litter, cat food in it. And so then it's decorative. That's a good idea. But I'm probably not going to do that. But that is a good idea to keep things stored in it. But I do have, you know, some of the thermoses to go with this, and I have that little metal lunchbox that I just purchased this weekend, so I could do a little display maybe for fall, like a little tailgate party on the back deck. Wouldn't that be pretty to decorate with? So lots of ideas with that too. But I am just so thrilled. Like, if I wouldn't have got anything else, just getting this plaid cooler was well worth it. So worth it. My husband's like, I told him, I'm like, honestly, he goes, I told him, I said, I probably would have paid 60 for it. He's like, what? So he couldn't believe that that's how much I had been wanting one. I'm glad it was only $6. But yeah, that's about what they've been running for around here, about $60 for these types of coolers. That's my haul for today. Thank you so much for joining me. You know, I want you to know that you are blessed and you are highly favored. And if you could leave a comment, let me know what you think about the finds. What item did you think was just the best thing that I could have found and for the price that I had given for it? Let me know in the comments what you think. Until next time, have a great day.